I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I am Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Brianna Jones.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew to like musical... God, I'm trying to do an intro here.
I'm sorry, my God.
A podcast where I try to get Coffee McGee to like musical theater. How are you doing, Andrew?
I try to get famous for my composing, trying to have sex with everything I see, you know how it is.
Yeah, do you mind if I take a look at your music real quick? I want to see the sheet music and just see what it's like real quick.
I don't know where this is going, but sure, here you could take a quick peek.
Yeah, I just want to see, like, how it goes. And now, Bree, cut to, like, some old, like, put some dramatic music under this, all right? On the page, it looked like nothing. The beginning, simple, almost comic. Just a pulse, bassoons and bassette horns, like a rusty squeeze box. And then suddenly, high above it, an oboe. A single note hanging there unwavering until a clarinet took over and it sweetened it into a phrase of such delight. This was no composition by a performing monkey. This was a music I'd never heard, filled with such longing and unfillable longing. It had me trembling. It seemed to me that I was hearing the voice of God. There we are.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, your music's pretty good. But too many notes.
I'll cut some of them. Which one should I cut first?
Just too many. On that note, no pun intended.
Too many notes.
This week, we are covering Mozart, l'Opera Rock, or Mozart, the Rock Opera. Cue the music, Bree.
Tatoue-moi sur tes seins, fais-le du bout de mes lèvres. Je baiserai tes mains, je ferai que ça te plaise. Tatoue-moi sur tes murs, un futur à composer. Je veux graver toutes mes luxures sur tes dorures.
Mozart, l'Opera Rock is a musical written by Dove Adia and Francois Choquette, with music and lyrics by Dove Adia, Francois Castello, Rodrigue Genois, Nicolas Luciani, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Jean-Pierre Pilot, William Rizzo, Antonio Salieri, Olivier Schuttelis, Vincent Baguanian, Patrice Garrario. And I don't care if I said your names wrong. Send me an email. It premiered on the 22nd of September 2009 at the Palais des Sports de Paris, where it continued until January 3rd, 2010. From February 4th, 2010 to July 3rd, 2010, it went on tour in France, Belgium, and Switzerland. It returned to Paris between November 9th, 2010 and 9th of January 2011. A second tour began February 4th, 2011, and the production closed on July 10th, 2011 at the Palais Omnisports in Paris-Bercy. It was directed by Olivier Dahan and choreographed by Dan Stewart and produced by Adia and Albert Cohen. In November of 2010, a DVD recording of the show was released. It was also released in 3D theatrically in 2011. So this pro show we watched was live streamed in 3D because of James Cameron. Let's just think about that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. The show is a dramatization of the life of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, beginning from the age of 17 and culminating with his death in 1791 at the age of 35. It uses both original pop rock compositions as well as pre-existing music composed by Mozart and other composers, including Antonio Salieri. Andrew, what is your history with Mozart? I know we covered the Magic Flute a few weeks ago, and also I want to say, this is a Patreon request by Angela, who has been very, very patient with this one. This has been a long time coming. Originally, we were going to have a guest, but things took a little long there, so we're just going to do it. So, history with Mozart and your general thoughts on what you thought of this.
Yeah, I think I've gone over my history with Mozart before, in that there isn't much of one outside of just, like, I know a couple of his things. Like, yeah. My God, I didn't know he died at 35. Wowee. Man got a lot done.
I mean, he started very early. Like, he was, like, playing without his, like, blindfolded at 6. He was trained by his parents very early. He was a savant.
God dang. No wonder Salieri was so jealous.
Well, history has questioned that many times over, but it has become a shorthand for the Mozart story as Salieri was jealous, and some variations of the story have it that Salieri killed Mozart, so to say. But
I'm sure that rumor started probably right when he died.
yeah, there's because they did have a rivalry, but they also respected one another, but I don't think it like got to the depths that a lot of people like to think it did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The most Mozart I've ever listened to was probably when we did the Magic Flute, which again, very good music in that. I couldn't quite follow what the heck was happening, but I don't think that's Mozart's fault necessarily.
Okay, so we're back in the world of European musicals. We've dipped our toes in here before with Tons the Vampire, Rebecca.
Why does it feel like most of the time we go to these foreign language ones, they're pretty good?
There's some variations of it, but yes, I agree. Well, I think it's because
Rebecca was the worst one we covered.
And that's still pretty good.
It was still pretty decent, though.
Like, the staircase being set on fire at the end of that show is still very impressive.
And I mean, I still remember the, like, Rebecca, or whatever the heck the theme
they
there
sing
was.
it 300 times on that show.
You have to remember it. They literally force it into your brain.
Rebecca! It sounds cool, though. I'd actually re-listen to that song.
It's good though, yeah. So like, and then we did like the German Hunchback.
We didn't do that. I talked about it, but
we talked about it, and I feel like I watched some of it.
You
and
did
it looked
not.
good.
You did not watch the full thing.
I did not, but you showed it to me.
Yes,
I remember it.
I'm only saying this so because I really do want to do a proper episode on that one day.
Yes, but like, are things just better over there?
They are funded.
Do they have healthcare and shit?
They are funded by the government. There are resources given to the arts because it actually matters over there.
What?
Yeah, so
resources should be given to billionaires exclusively.
And the military.
They need more food in the military, yeah. And the billionaires will maybe fund some art stuff.
It'll trickle down to us.
And they'll fund art projects like Disney. We'll get a lot of really great Disney movies. So Mozart Opera Rock is fucking phenomenal. What the fuck?
Okay, all right. I do want to read verbatim the words that you sent to me when you started watching this. So I don't have much history with this, but I did listen to a few songs before we covered the show properly. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. It's not like the stuff we usually get. So I'd be quite curious to see what Andrew's response is. And it wasn't quite what I expected. So you were just kind of like, oh, the first song slaps. Did they really put the best song up front? That's weird. And then you kept watching and you were like, what the fuck? This Mozart one slaps. Why is there way better than almost any other big musical on Broadway? Where is the English version?
For real, though. What the fuck?
What makes this so good, though? Tell me what makes this so good. I
don't know. The music is just exactly what I wanted to hear, I guess. I don't really know what else to say on it. I love the Mozart character. I think he's very funny. I know he's a real person, but I feel like he's not actually Mozart in this. I don't know.
Try to describe the plot to us. Let's just hear what you would describe this plot as. Yeah.
Mozart is an aspiring composer in Paris. And then his mother dies and he has to move back to Austria. I don't remember. Where was it?
I think Vienna.
Munich? Vienna. So he has to move back there, and then he gets in his rivalry with Salieri. Salieri.
Yes. I do want to stop you there because you said 2 sentences, and that is the end of Act 1.
Yes. I didn't say much happens in this. I just said it was really good.
Okay. That is me setting up a pretext for what I'm going to whine about later.
I know. You're going to complain about the greatest fucking shit that we've watched in like months. You're going to be like, oh my God, the story was so lax. And it's like, well, every song fucking banged. So who fucking cares?
Well, you can say that for fucking We Will Rock You if you're a Queen fan. I'm not going to suddenly give that a free pass.
Because they performed all the Queen songs poorly.
All right, keep going. All right. So, Mozart's mom dies in in Act 1, and then that's the end of Act 1. Keep going.
Yeah. He gets in like rivalry with Salieri. That name is spelled so fucking weird. I can't. Salieri, and he like tries to ruin his career, and then Mozart gets like sick with something and is dying, and then he and Salieri sing the best closing song ever written or performed, and then the show ends.
Maybe it's because you haven't watched the movie Amadeus or seen the play Amadeus, and maybe that's just it. But here I am watching this musical, and I'm going to agree with you. Every song fucking slaps. Every, number is good. I'm just amazed that they got that many human beings on stage, that there's so many beautiful costumes on stage, that the lighting... The stage is fucking enormous, for one.
I literally watched all the way through, even after all the bows and everything, because it was so fucking good. It was like, oh my God, I want more. And they just kept playing, they went back and played another song again, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. The set design, beautiful. The costume design, incredible. Everything here, I wish we had on Broadway. Just in America. Not even just on Broadway. I wish we had anywhere in American theater outside of, rock concerts.
Well, I mean, that's what it reminded me of is a rock concert, the whole thing. It's so big, and they have an actual, full rock band playing. But, it's something you can't get at most rock shows because there's, 20 people on stage singing as well. It's oh my God.
It is a wall of human voices. It is beautiful to look at. Everything aesthetic is as perfect as can be and has no fault.
And you get those, really cool moments where it's, rock mixed with Mozart compositions.
Oh, hell yeah. And then you get that, and then you get the lighting mixed with it, and it all feels the way it's meant to be. Nothing compares to this. That being said, what the fuck? Act 1 is pointless.
No, it's not, because the songs fucking bang, and that's the point.
I guess, but anything that's interesting about Mozart's existence as a performer, as a human being, happens in Act 2. He meets Salieri. The rivalry is there. It feels like an afterthought when, I hate to say this, and I hate to compare it to another piece of work, but in Amadeus, that is the story of Amadeus, is Salieri and Mozart and their connection and how that story is told. So it does shock me when the enemy of the show isn't introduced until 10, 15 minutes into Act 2.
I feel like Act 1 is fine. I love the transitions between some of the stuff, when he's just singing about how horny he is, and then his mom dies, and it turns on a dime, and it's oh my God, that's some good shit. There's some weird interactions with that one woman that he's trying to date.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And then he fucking marries her sister.
Yeah, and his dad is a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and these are all elements that are part of the Amadeus movie and play that's based upon. But it's done so much better there. And I hate to compare it because this is a wholly different experience.
It's not done better though, because you don't get to rock out the entire time.
You are correct. You are 100% correct, and I can't take that away. That being said, Emo Salieri is so good that it turned Act 1, I was I don't think I'm gonna love this. I think this is gonna be Sound and Fury signifying nothing. Then Act 2, and we get Emo Salieri. Oh my God. One of my favorite musical theater things to exist is just his presence and how they just lean into the emo rocker that he is.
I feel like we're not even talking about the visuals enough, because I feel like
no, we aren't.
The visual style of they're all wearing these old timey clothes, but they look like rock stars. It's so crazy.
It reminds. Do you remember Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson?
Yes,
it is a better version of that.
It's like that in style, but they do pull it off better.
And I know it sounds like I'm berating this because I was very uninterested in Act 1. Act 1 was very hard for me to emotionally engage with, aside from, oh, that song sounds pretty cool. Act 2, it's like a whole different show starts, and it's some of the best theater I've ever seen. So let me just say that.
I think that this show, seeing it live, would be euphoric.
I think that if it came to New York, if it came to the USA, they would ruin it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt. They'd probably do it like a Broadway show, and it would be
bad.
Terrible.
It would be bad. And also, I appreciate that this is 2 hours on the dot. It is a short, breezy show.
Yeah, you complain about Act 1 or whatever, but Act 1 is only 40 minutes long.
Yeah, but it's Act 1. We could have just split
It's good. It's fine. I'm into it, honestly.
What happens in Act 1 that comes into consequence in Act 2?
Nothing.
Yes! Isn't that a problem?
Ordinarily, I would say yes, but no.
I mean, once
have no
again,
issues with
I
it.
am in the pro category for this show. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. It is some of the best theater. Act 1, why is there? Make this a 1 act, extend Act 2, maybe put a little pieces of Act 1 in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just... So, I actually didn't watch
You
this.
can't cut Act 1, though, because
can't.
if you cut Act 1, you lose the Tattoo song, which is the best song in the show.
Which is
you
a
lose,
hit song, like a proper pop song that was a hit.
and it's really good. You lose their performance of what is it, the Deus Eris or whatever at the beginning of the show,
I mean,
which is like,
who says I want to cut that? I don't want. That is some of the best.
where do you put it? It's in Act 1, okay? I mean, come on.
You can still start with that.
I don't know. I think it could use restructuring, but honestly, I would just want to see it live. I don't even give a shit.
I agree. I completely understand exactly how you feel and why you feel that way. If this came to Broadway, what do you think they'd do with it?
If it came to Broadway, they'd probably tone down the rock elements a lot. I think it'd be a lot more poppy, and it would suck.
But this doesn't feel like a rock album in a weird way. What we're covering next week is going to feel more like a rock album that just happens to be put on stage. But this feels like...
I feel like it generally does feel like a rock album, I think. I don't know. I actually disagree. I think it does feel like a proper rock show.
Okay, explain that. Because I don't... You know, the only rock show I've been to is Lady Gaga, and I went to that like 2 months ago.
See, if you consider that a rock show, then that's weird, because that's a pop show.
Oh, okay. Elaborate.
So, I mean, they have twin guitars, heavily distorted. I mean, the man takes a guitar solo at the end. It was pretty sick. But, like, it's got some heavy drums. It's got some heavy guitars. And that's, like, the whole instrumentation. That's, like, the whole show. I feel like I don't know. I really do feel like it's a rock show.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I guess I'm not doing any real analysis of the music, but I don't think that's really what we do.
No, that's not what we do. But I would like to bring up that they were trying to get to Broadway, and even in this statement, like, so this is one of the more successful shows in European theater ever. It grossed over $100 million. It was able to fill one of the largest seating theaters in France with 4,000 seats. And it is all the songs became like pop hits, like specifically like Tatoue-moi and all those became like chart hits. So while the large-scale production will have to be pared down for a Broadway theater, they still saved a bunch of costumes, so they'll just bring the costumes over from France if they go to Broadway as opposed to, like, making new ones. So they're already, like, thinking of how to cut corners just to get it on Broadway
How do we make
stage.
this as cheap as possible? So we're going to cut the cast down. We're going to reuse old costumes. God. Why is Broadway awful?
I don't know. Because, I mean, you've been there. You've seen a couple Broadway shows. I was next to you. Those theaters are tiny. Baby tiny.
Yeah. No, I mean, they really are. The one that we saw, A Strange Lupin,
Lyceum
was
Theater.
like... Yeah, it's like you could sit like 20 people in there. It's like, what the fuck?
And then Beetlejuice, Marquee Theater, that was actually the only theater I felt comfortable in.
It's like, and it's a bigger theater, but I'm pretty sure the theater in like Schenectady, New York, like my local theater is like the same size or bigger.
Yeah. St. James, where I saw Into the Woods, just as tiny as the Lyceum. Like, we need to either like figure out a way to fill these Broadway houses or expand them, or maybe we should just embrace like the rock tour side of the show and just put it into fucking stadiums.
Hell yeah. Honestly, yeah.
This show would actually
Broadway
do great if you
theaters,
put it into like a football field or a baseball field, like they do like some rock concerts.
I think that is part of it. When we watch these European shows,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's hard to tell from like a filmed perspective, but this one and the one that we're talking about next, both of those stages looked fucking massive.
I agree, and they looked like they dwarfed
and
the
I think
actors.
we made a similar comment about like, oh man, the German Hunchback as well. Like, oh, look at the set. How come we can't do stuff like that? You know what? It's probably because the stages are so fucking small.
Why? I don't understand why we're so behind in theater. Like, have you looked at
Because
any?
we don't fund the arts. It's all privatized.
Have you looked at the new production of Wicked in Germany?
I haven't, but like, what do we got? Give me some descriptions. Show some images.
I will.
For our audio podcast.
I'm just gonna. So, with a lot of Broadway shows, especially big Broadway shows like Wicked or the Phantom of the Opera, which Phantom of the Opera closing is a good thing for society, for one thing. But when you license the show, like when you tour it or whatnot, they have to do the original version of the show. They have to use the same set design. They have to use the same props, or else they can't do it. This is a non-replica version of Wicked, where they don't use the same set design, they don't use any of that, and they do wild, crazy fucking things with their staging. Chrome tab, there we go. All right, check this out.
What the fuck?
Right?
Okay, just like a description, there's like a massive tower in the center of the stage with someone in it.
The costumes look better. Everything is just much more massive. An entire TV set falls out of the sky and Dorothy walks out of it.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on here.
Elphaba flies over the audience.
This in the stage just looks so big.
They put the spectacle back onto the stage.
Yeah, it's wow.
And this is the same show currently playing on Broadway that people are paying out the fucking nose to see.
I think this whole episode is just going to become us asking people to petition Broadway to be better.
Like, I don't understand. It bothers me a lot. Sincerely, it does. That this is the way that U.S. theater is.
It's France and Germany. That's who it is.
And Austria. Austria is also very good.
But it's not England.
No.
England is the same as the United States.
No, England.
It may be worse.
England is different. They put money in different kinds of things.
They put money into bad things.
They put the money.
Maybe the Queen was just a big fan of David Hasselhoff or something. And now that we have King Charles, we'll start getting some better stuff.
This is our first show we're recording post-Queen death.
Yeah. Rest in piss.
Go back to our Diana episode. Hear Andrew's thoughts about the royal family.
They're great. They're great people who all deserve to live long lives.
Destroy the monarchy. I'm with you. So I like this show. I like the way it looks, but I'm about to sneeze. Hold on.
Sneezy McGee over here.
At least I didn't do it right into the mic.
That would have been pretty funny.
It would have been, but Bree would have kept it in just to spite me, and then repeated it, and then dubstepped it.
Oh, now it's being kept in.
Put some tunes to it. So what's the future of Broadway, and how can we be better? Like, is a good question.
Well, first, just bring this show over.
And then they'll ruin it.
Don't ruin it, though.
So, wait. Hold on, Andrew. I do actually want to bring this up. We'll go into previews right after this. So, we previously talked about the Back to the Future musical, right?
Yes.
That had proper spectacle in it for a West End show. I feel like even though we weren't that positive about it, it did.
I mean, yeah, it had some cool stuff in it. I think we mentioned some of the cool stuff. It's just that the show itself was kind of unimpressive. Right.
It's coming to Broadway in a few months. Do you think any of those impressive things are going to stick with it, or that they're going to dumb it down?
What state? Are they going to be able to do, like, the car effects and, like...
I mean, what else is there to the show aside from the car effects?
There is basically nothing. So if they don't bring the car effects over, you are going to see probably one of the worst Broadway shows ever.
It got great reviews in the UK. We read them. Bria read them.
Yeah. You can't trust those people. I mean, they're British. Like, what do you expect?
Oh, jolly good. It was just like the movie, except on a stage.
Kidding. But,
sure.
But for real though, I don't think they can do that over here. They're gonna budget things down. The stages are too small. Like, I don't know what they're gonna do.
So why is the reputation of Broadway, like, I feel like even before you started hosting the show, you probably thought that Broadway was the quote-unquote be-all, end-all of theater. That's where all the best quote-unquote theater was.
I still kind of thought that up until this week when
really,
I realized that it's France. It's all in France. And it's sort of adding up now. Like, where did Les Mis start?
Two Frenchmen, yes.
Like, okay. Like, and then this show, and next week you'll get spoilers for whatever, I guess. We're covering another French show, but that one's also pretty fun and pretty big.
Well, let's just see what other French musicals there are that have been adapted, because that is a good point, and I feel like it's one of those things that we don't talk too much about. So they got a Romeo and Juliet musical.
Okay, well, maybe there's something that's good. Keep going, maybe?
They have Tatoue-moi, which played automatically. Like, we watched this on YouTube, and that just started playing afterwards, and apparently that's pretty good. Murder Mystery 8 Women, apparently is all right. The Ten Commandments, which I think was brought to Broadway brought to America, starring Val Kilmer, and it was very bad in America, but apparently it was pretty okay in French.
Not surprising.
The best movie musical ever made, in my opinion, like, as a proper, like, The Umbrellas of Schoenberg. One of the most beautiful looking films ever, and one of the best movie musicals ever. French.
We'll have to cover that at some point.
Yeah, it's on the to-do list. I've always wanted to cover it. It's just finding the times. And I try to separate our European musicals, but I've done a pretty bad job this month.
It's fine. I think the people like to hear about this type of stuff.
Well, the thing is, not other...
Because you know what? People are going to look up the sound, like the...
Cast recording?
The album or whatever, cast recording for this, and they're going to be like, oh my god, I have never heard this before because it's all in French, but it's so fucking good.
Literally. Okay, so I put out a tweet today, or yesterday, about this show, just because I was like, what is the overall consensus of our Twitter followers? How it's been, and a lot of folks were like, well, I didn't even know this existed. What? Please send me a link. So,
and then they were like, oh fuck.
My god, what is this shit? I feel like I gotta embrace it.
You gotta learn French. I'm moving to France. Fuck this shit.
Honestly, I'd move to France with Andrew. If you and I commit to moving to France, I'd like bunk with you, and we pay $50 rent every month.
Oh god, I'd do it.
I just wish
I would do it. Just not French Canada. It has to be France.
No, it's got to be France. I just wish the French weren't such fucking dickheads.
Oh, like we can talk. We live in America.
Have you met a Frenchman? Have you met a French person?
Have you met an American?
I've met...
Have you been to New York City?
Yeah, you were there with me.
I know, it's awful.
So I also do want to bring up, because when I made that post, a lot of folks were like, are you talking about the German or the French version of Mozart the Opera?
There's another one, or is it the same one but in German?
I have not done the proper due diligence of looking it up because time has gotten away from me. No, it looks completely different.
Oh shit, now we gotta cover the German one too. It's completely different?
Oh. This is a fun discovery you're having right now on our podcast.
So there's a French and a German version with the same name.
Mozart, Das Musical.
So this is definitely different. I don't think I recognize this song.
No, this is different.
Yeah, there's no scene where there's a tiny Mozart in this one.
But it's still a rock opera based on Mozart in a language we do not speak that somehow still has a stage bigger than anything that we have in America. And 1,000 people on stage. There's at least 40 people on stage right now.
This is just a scene where a tiny Mozart is like playing in a weird red coat, and there's like 100 people on stage.
Do you know the reason why our Hunchback of Notre Dame, the American one, didn't transfer to Broadway?
No.
Because there was too many actors and Disney didn't want to pay their salary.
Thanks, Disney.
So instead, they transferred Frozen the
supporting
musical.
the arts. Well, yeah, because you only need 3 people for that one. You have Elsa, and then you have the reindeer's head and the reindeer's ass.
And that's the musical, and they double all the roles. On that note, let's compare our opinions to those of the theater critics when this first came out. It's time for previews!
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
Wow, that's such a nice theme song. Bree, what we got this week?
The show has received mixed responses from critics despite a large fan following and great popularity within Europe. Le Figaro praised the lighting and certain innovations in the staging, but also noted the mediocre sound and inconsistent libretto and uneven casting.
That's fair.
Slander.
stating that Michelangelo
Some Michelangelo LeConte people are like, oh, dare you speak this name like that? That's so offensive.
I feel like it's
butchered your
LeConte.
name, Mike.
I feel like it's LeConte.
LeConte.
I don't think they
Michelangelo
do
LeConte. I think, would it be LeConte?
No, because
it might be that, but I'm not sure.
Whatever.
Okay. Anyway, Mike.
Mikey.
Mikey. The Ninja Turtle.
Stating that my boy Mike, the Ninja Turtles' performance at Mozart was at once over the top and disembodied. Okay.
Okay. You can just say shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just make stuff up.
You are both hilarious and stoic.
Le Point also praised the lighting, but deplored the insipid melodies and a mediocrity which the actors were unable to overcome.
What? Insipid melodies. This person watched the wrong show.
Did Sally?
This is a review for the German one. I'm pretty sure.
No. Salieri probably wrote that one because literally the movie Amadeus ends with old man Salieri going through an old folks person like, I am the king of mediocrity. That movie's great. You should watch it, Andrew.
I probably will at some point eventually.
It's such
maybe.
a good movie. Don't watch the director's cut though. Continue.
Okay. Francois described the show as lacking genius and impertinence, weighed down by a disjointed first act.
Can't even disagree.
Simpering female characters and a fidgety Mozart.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair review there.
La Express noted the stylized scenes and hurried narrative. The magazine Tatoue referred to the musical as glittering, sugared like a meringue, extremely amusing but lacking noteworthy vocal skill.
Oh, no one sang 24601 at the top of their vocal range, so they're not allowed to exist.
Why are they shitting on the singers? I feel like nobody did a bad job in the one I saw.
No, I feel like
Maybe...
they're just used to like very high notes, and this is kind of more like passion and rock. Like this is all about the vibe rather than the tone.
I guess, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Continue.
On the other hand, the magazine premiere stated that the show was a success. Thierry Quinson of RegardenCoulisses.com, despite qualifications regarding the sound and the weak narrative of the second act.
On the second act?
That's what it says.
Christ.
Asserted that
The critiques of this are all over the fucking place.
No one can
they
agree.
really are. Okay, so where was I? Oh, asserted that the project marked a veritable evolution in the grand musicals of the last few years. The songs are better written, less formulaic and syrupy, a better constructed narrative, leaving more room for acting and choreography, which is less invasive and systematic.
All right. Fucking Christ. The reviews are all over the place. I can't even say there's parts of other reviews I agree with. There's parts of some I don't agree with. What do you think, Andrew?
I feel like that somebody, and I'm not going to point any fingers or anything, but I think somebody was jealous of how good the show was and maybe
tried to kill the writers.
Started some rumors and bribed some people for bad reviews. I'm not going to say it was Salieri, but it was.
Look at you
He
saying
came out of the show
Salieri
and tried to ruin
correctly.
it. I did it. I said it right.
You know what? I can't even disagree too hard with them, but you know who I definitely can disagree with? The crazy folks over on Letterboxd.com. It's time for Previews Part 2. It's the Letterbox game.
It's time for previews. It's time for previews.
All right. So, this film is on Letterboxd.com, but I also sprinkled in some reviews of the Amadeus film just for shiggles. It's Andrew and Bree up against each other. They both have to guess, just based on the actual Letterboxd review alone, whether the review was a 1-star or a 5-star. Andrew, Bree, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Bree, you're on first.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am so ready.
Okay, here is the full review. Well, space. That was gay.
5 stars.
That was a 5-star. Good job, Bree. All right, Andrew, you're on next.
I'm on. Let's do it.
Pretty good, but the whole soundtrack was just samples of old music. kind of lazy, slanty face.
I feel like this is ironic. I'm going to say that's a 5.
That is also correct. All right, Bree, you ready?
Of course, yes.
Salieri with a heart that's broken.
Ooh, 1 star?
That is correct.
Yes.
All right, Andrew, are you ready?
Yes.
I didn't make this review up, though. I need you to know that.
Wait, what did you do?
I did not make this review up.
This
It's
is
very
real.
important that you know that. Yes. There's an Amadeus in 5 seconds on YouTube by that guy with the glasses that just nails what's wrong with this film.
I want to die.
I saw that and I was like, well, I have to put that in, don't I?
I mean, they're a that guy with the glasses fan. They don't like movies, so this has to be a 1 star, right?
That is correct.
Nice.
Head
Doug
to head,
Walker.
Bree, you're up.
Doug Walker wrote that review. He was like, I think
Pretty good.
I'm pretty sure I nailed it on that one.
Actually, fun fact, Doug Walker has the film Amadeus as one of his favorite films of all time. I remember that. I don't remember why I know that, but I do remember
Why was
that.
he able to make a 5-second review that perfectly nails what's wrong with it?
I don't know, Andrew. I sincerely don't know. Bree, it's your turn.
Okay.
Just a dash. Literally just 1 dash.
Oh, God.
Not a slash, a dash.
A dash. 1 star.
That is correct. Andrew.
Yes.
Bro, gaslit TF out of this dude because he was better at piano. Someone needs to tell these band kids to chill.
They paid attention during the movie. 5 stars?
It's a 1 star.
Fuck.
Bree.
damn.
Tag yourself. I'm Salieri having a homosexual breakdown after hearing Mozart for the first time. Which, yeah, that happens in this musical.
Huh. 5 stars.
That is correct.
Wow, I'm on fire
Great.
today.
You are doing really good today. You are 2 points ahead of Andrew. Andrew, you're up.
Mm-hmm.
A retelling of Squidward and SpongeBob through the contempt cynicism of music.
Yes. 5 stars.
That is correct. Bree.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest movie to get hard to.
1 star.
That is correct. But
Is that
also I
even true,
disagree.
though? Yeah, it's not true.
I feel like just from hearing what it's about, I feel like there has to be other movies.
Like, Amadeus has titties in it. Even because this was a review for Amadeus, like, there is some titties in that movie. Like, it's not that hard to get hard to.
That's when everyone's wearing a corset, so everyone looks like, yeah,
Yeah.
old-fashioned hourglass, you know?
Whose turn is it?
Andrews.
Andrew, you ready?
Yeah.
Quality sucks, but damn.
What? 5?
That is correct.
Nice.
Bree. Expected this to be boring, but it kind of went off.
5 stars.
That is a 1 star.
It went off the rails. Plus L plus ratio plus I don't know. What do the kids say?
That is a good question. You ready?
Yes.
They didn't even play hot cross buns.
They did do Twinkle Little Star though.
They did.
It feels ironic. I'm gonna go 5.
That is a 1 star. Bree.
Fuck.
Still 1 point ahead.
Okay.
Too many notes.
Ooh, I've heard this. 1 star.
That is correct. Andrew. Ah la la, the French.
5 stars.
That is correct. Bree. Oh, this is the last one. I just looked and I'm like, all right, this is the last one.
Okay. Well, I started. It should be okay.
Who
let's go.
cares?
If Mozart had a fan club, they would almost certainly be called the Wolfgang.
5 stars.
That is correct, and Bree with 2 points ahead. You are the winner of Bree Views.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Your reward will be in the mail. It'll be an envelope with nothing in it.
Oh,
But
perfect.
you get to keep the envelope.
I do need an envelope, so.
It's not reusable though.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, then fuck you.
On that note, let's go into a mid-show and then talk about some of these songs. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got a shill at you. Andrew, tell us a little bit about Patreon. What's going on over there? What we got going? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? We got stuff going there.
Patreon's where you can go to get some extra content and support us while we're trying to do this. We got commentaries. We've got an extra podcast that runs over there. Got all sorts of stuff. We recently did a commentary on a Goofy movie with with Ethan from Sideways. So, lots of good stuff.
It's a good time over there. Also, we've got like monthly meetups that Andrew will 100% be at all the time.
Every time.
We also have a lot of other fun crap over there, but I don't have the time to go into that. You can look over there. Lots of different tiers. We also have merch on sale. Just go to musicalswithcheese.com and click the merch button and check it out. I think it's actually pretty cool what we have there. We all own the merch in some way or another.
Let's see, am I doing names? I'll do the names.
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Our current patrons are Melissa Goldman, Danielle Rennick, Jess the Stampede, Ewan Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Mina Maneri, Brent Black, Nathaniel Sasikum. You know what? It's getting boring. Bree, give me a beat.
Boom, 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 boom.
Joseph Evans Green, Mary Lou Choquette,
Go faster, faster
Nels,
beat.
Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Janae C, Scootin' the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Liz Lim, Alison Stellar, Nothing is Certain Except Massachusetts, Thespian, Renton Cohen, Rafael Martinez Salaz, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Tea Cup, and Katie McDonough, Timothy Keys, and Chris Marco, Going to Jail
Jess,
with
you can go
Me
faster than
Moo,
this.
KJ Marie Anastasio,
Really
Going
patter
to
it out,
Jail
Jess.
with Layla, Arjun Regina, Charlie B, Having Dinner with Avery Brinson, Bjorn Hermans and Erica S, Got Kissing with Toriana Frazier, Sammy the Most, Lopez, Teaches Liana Morton How to Angela, Kaylee Blazer, Birdman 69 with Cinemageddon Reviews, Sophiana Molly, Kiss Omega, Gate on the Lips, Katrin Evans, shot and killed Paige Pearson, Patty Wargle was first on the scene with her partner, Liza Erdman, Anna Lostakova said, Jessica Viray did that shit, Sarah Dan Blaker then, Jess Gray said, I saw him, Jamila M. Brown was a judge, Evan Ball was a witness, Wayne Cruz said, I didn't do it, Zachary Torres was the executioner, Spencer Hellier said, do you have the right to remain silent? And then the entire story is wrapped up by gathering party before venturing forth. Bam.
Yeah, that was something.
That was a full story I tried to tell.
Those are some new names.
Yeah, and we also lost some old names, but these folks give us a little extra financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. If you'd like to join them in supporting us and get tons of fun perks such as page-only commentaries or episodes a day early or even earlier, come join us over at Patreon. And also, try not to get thrown in jail as a patron. I don't know why that's where my mind went, but I was freestyling and I was hoping I'd get somewhere by the end.
It's okay. I'm sure some of our patrons are in jail.
I don't think they're in jail. I hope not, at least, because then they can't come to our Patreon meetups.
They're probably in jail.
Oh, no! Well, on that note, let's get back to the show.
Leurs valeurs qui ont cours, les gardiens de leur tour, indécents, ils sont devenus sourds. Pensez l'impossible avant tout, brûler nos prisons dorées, oser l'utopie jusqu'au bout.
Penser l'impossible, which is between, I believe, Mozart's mother and his father.
Yes, and they're talking about like the king, the monarch, like betraying them or something like that.
100%. This
one
visually, this scene looks
bangs.
incredible.
Yeah, I think the one, this one is absolutely incredible. Really sucked me in as an opening, and it's not even between two characters that
That we
matter.
care about. But we introduce everyone but Mozart. We introduce his mother, his father, and his sister very succinctly, and then we just keep waiting for Mozart to show up.
Yeah, and then when he finally shows up, they actually sing like a weird folk song with the Lederhosen, if I remember right. Can we talk about Bim Bam Baum, actually?
Yeah, let's talk about Bim Bam Bam.
Because I don't think I care about the Lederhosen song.
It's why I want to talk about just visually what a
go ahead.
strange number that is. I do want to talk about Bim Bam Bam. I don't want to walk over
This
that
one might be the worst song in the show, the La Troubillon or whatever.
Yes.
It just doesn't quite fit, I don't think.
Exactly. I wanted to say that too, but it's also our introduction to Mozart, where he sets up what is, I guess, his overall goal for the story, which is to write an opera in German.
Yeah, it's weird. I won't even say it's his I Want song, though, because I feel like that comes later with
that feels like the Act 1 closer is his I Want song.
Yeah, it's...
You know, where the story begins?
Yeah. It's weird. But this song doesn't quite fit. It's a little weird, and I would probably just cut this one, even though...
It's his introduction. I understand why it's here.
It's his introduction, so it kind of has to be there, but maybe we could just write a new song for this part. One that's better.
I don't disagree. Visually, it's so strange, though. The lederhosen, the bar, everything.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just waltz over it and
But I mean, if we want to talk
exist.
about weird shit, though, Bim Bam Boom.
Let's go.
What the fuck is this?
Okay, Andrew, when I watched this show, I was never so convinced you wanted to talk about a song as I did. I was like, Andrew's going to want to stop and have a whole discussion about this shit, doesn't he?
It's so fucking odd. I don't even
who sings
dislike it. Is it his love interest or his sister? I can't remember.
No, it's the love interest for Act 1,
Yes.
but the sister of the woman that he will eventually marry.
Okay. Yes. So this is who he wants to get with in Act 1, but she marries somebody else, and she's kind of a bad person to him for most of it.
Yes. You are correct. There's nothing.
And she sings a song where I don't think these even have any meaning in French. She's just going bim bam boom.
Yes.
And
I do have translations of the lyrics right here if you want that lead into the. So it's basically like her describing a beat. I'm a half moon, half man woman, an anagram. They draw me, they shape me, I fascinate you, you're surprised, my heart skips, adrenaline boosts me, beating to the beat. So she's describing the beat of her heart, which is bim, bam, boom. So it's literally about just her heartbeat.
But it's not sung as if it's a heartbeat. It's sung in this weird, like, robotic overtone type thing.
And she's voguing in a weird way when she,
it's
like her
so
arms.
Fucking weird.
But her dress, her hair, all of that shit is on point. Bree, look up this scene right now. Bim bam boom. And look at her dress and how she looks. It is beautiful.
I remember her being in like a blue, like
yes.
She almost looks like she's supposed to be like the good witch or something from like I don't even know. It's so fucking odd.
But she looks absolutely gorgeous, and nothing looks like this. And there's dancers behind her.
Yeah, she looks stunning.
The long eyelashes, everything going on in this scene is wild as fuck.
That dress
For
is
a
so
song
cool.
And the first song just about, I got a heartbeat that goes beep beep boop.
Yep. But that's the thing, though. It doesn't matter because it's all spectacle.
That's how I describe this show, is the most inane shit done in the most beautiful way you could imagine.
I feel like that works, though. Maybe I'm looking at it differently than I should be, but I feel like if I went to this, it would be like going to a concert. And at a concert, I don't expect there to be a story. I expect there to just be really good spectacle and music. And
I guess, but also... it's literally opera rock, the rock opera. I'm promised a narrative here.
I mean, this is a better narrative than the Mozart opera we watched.
The magic flute?
Yeah, the corked pipe.
Yeah. I guess next we have to talk about Tatoue-moi, which is Tatoue-me.
Tatoue-moi sur tes seins, fais-le du bout de mes lèvres. Je baiserai tes mains, je ferai que ça te plaise. Tatoue-moi sur tes murs, un futur à composer. Je veux graver toutes mes luxures sur tes dorures.
This one's really good. I know this one became a hit, but it deserved it because this song fucking slaps.
What happens to this song? Please tell me.
Mozart goes around Paris and sings about how fucking horny he is and how he wants to fuck everything he sees. And I'm pretty sure that's the whole song. I don't think anything else happens.
While you are correct, I think it's important that I show a little bit of the music video that they made for this show, for this song, to go along with its big, like, hit song status. Where the actor that plays Mozart just goes around and makes out with random people. Old, young, fuck it.
I mean, yeah, that's what the song's about.
11 million views.
It's good.
It was a proper hit song in the French airwaves. And these music videos are part of why this show became such a hit. Because it turned, like, their lead actor into a fucking rock star and turned it into a sex symbol.
Honestly, this is a good music video. It gives the vibe of the show, too.
No,
Like
it's a perfect music video.
I think what's interesting about this song, too, is it's, like, such a upbeat, like, poppy song. Probably the most poppy song in the whole show. And the end of it is just his mom dies.
Yes.
It just instantly turns to this like emo, like depressing shit.
I'm not sure I brought this up, but this single was on the sales for 5 weeks and remained at the top 5 for 11 weeks. I feel like that's just worth saying. That was a very popular song. And in the musical, it's just a prelude of being horny before your mom dies, which we've all been there.
I feel like it's the best like character song for Mozart, where it's just like this is who he is.
Yeah,
even if it's
I'd
not
almost prefer this to be his intro as opposed to any other song.
That's what
he's
I was
had
kind
in
of
Act
thinking.
One.
Like this song is basically like how you would introduce the character. Like I don't know.
It's like Pierre from the Natasha Pierre in the Great Comet 1812. It just sets him up beautifully. I do want to ask, however, Mozart never faded away into the character for me. He never felt like the same guy. I don't imagine the guy that we see on stage writing poems about his own farts or writing a song called I Lick Assholes or whatever.
I mean, I don't think he's not the historical figure. He's like a character.
I agree, but sometimes you can do a mix of both.
Yeah, but like I feel like it's stylized enough where you can tell it's not supposed to be like this isn't literally the historical figure Mozart. It's like a version of him.
Yeah. All right, we're skipping to Act 2 because we need to talk about Salieri's first song with Mozart, which is La bien qui fiat mal.
Which means
We're about to find out together, team.
okay, team, let's go to Google Translate.
I was never pretending that wasn't what I was doing, motherfucker.
I mean, what is it, like the good and bad?
I feel like the good thing that hurts.
Oh, okay. Because he doesn't like that he likes it.
Yes.
Mais d'où vient l'émotion étrange qui me fascine autant qu'elle me dérange? Je frissonne, poignardé par le peau. C'est comme dans l'amour le couteau. La blessure traverse mon cœur et j'ai la joie dans la douleur. Je m'enivre de ce poison avant de perdre la raison. C'est le bien qui fait mal quand tu aimes, tout à fait normal. Ta haine prend le plaisir, c'est si bon de souffrir, c'est qu'on va charme d'un tel larmes.
So, please set up what's going on in this scene real quick for us, Andrew, because it's horny as fuck. It might be the horniest song in the entire show, and that's saying a lot.
Isn't this is Salieri's gay breakdown after he heard Mozart's music, right?
Where he I wouldn't say it's gay breakdown, but it's definitely sexual breakdown.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's horny for Mozart's music.
He's horny for Mozart's music, yes. So this emo man who, okay, so I watched this with my significant other, Miranda, just earlier today, and as soon as Salieri comes on, I'm like, that's Salieri, that's what we're doing here in like Act 2 only. He walks on, painted black nails, all that. I'm like, all right, let's see what he does. Opens the music and then sings a song about it hurts so good. The music that Mozart writes hurts so good. And it's like leather-clad people fucking each other coming on stage while he's singing about how great Mozart's music is.
Yeah, I mean, it works though. I don't know. I think Salieri's character in this is really good.
I agree. I
think
want more of him.
the design is so distinct because nobody else looks like emo like that. It's just him.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good song for him, and it works out. It's got a nice, like, dark kind of feel to it where he's, like, breaking down. I don't know.
He has gay panic because Mozart's music turns him on so much.
Yeah.
So let me read some lyrics for you, Bree, so you understand the depth of it. The wound going through my heart, and I feel joy in the pain. I intoxicate myself with this poison until it makes me lose my mind. It's the good that causes pain when you love completely normal, your hate and joy. So it's good to suffer, surrender to the spell, let tears flow. And this is just him hearing Mozart's music. It's not like him meeting anyone.
You're going to feel a little bad for the historical figure of Salieri.
Salieri.
This is like how people remember him, even though this probably isn't even remotely true.
Not even a little bit. According to most historical records, he was very respectable toward Mozart, and they had like so in the Magic Flute, Papageno, like Mozart's a little bit of a dick and put some of Salieri's music in there to show how dumb Papageno was. Like that's the kind of stuff Mozart would do, and Salieri, like after Mozart died, Salieri taught Mozart's son to try to help him out because he knew he didn't have much funds remaining. Salieri is not the fucking monster we like to portray him in as media.
Although I do think
He was just a
this
guy.
show doesn't portray him as a monster so much because
No.
he gets a big redemption like moment at the end. So
I will say not as much as other things. Amadeus really kind of leaned hard into the jealous douchebag.
I haven't seen that. Does he even redeem himself at the end of that, or is he's just an asshole?
He basically accidentally kills Mozart.
Oof, that's a look. Yeah, I think this one
yeah.
is a little more respectful, although I mean,
we have to talk about the assassiny, l'assassiny.
Yes.
Déconcertant, concerto, je joue sans toucher le bout, mon talent sonne faux. Je noie mon ennui dans la mélomanie, je tue ma phobie dans la désharmonie.
This is the most listened to song on Spotify for this entire thing.
It doesn't like. Do you remember when it started playing? Like the first note of it hits, and the audience went fucking wild in the
Yes.
recording.
I do remember.
They knew what they were getting. They were getting an emo boy, like really wanting to fuck Mozart and his music.
Yeah, I mean, people like this song a lot, and I it's not my favorite one in there, but I do think it's pretty good as well. Yeah. What do you think, Jess?
I fucking love this song. I really fucking love this song. Like, if you've got a good actor playing Salieri, singing about how he just wants to kill Mozart because he's so good at music, it's such a very specific thing. And I've never seen it before in a way where they just dedicate, and the dancers on stage with him that don't overshadow what he's doing. This song is like the most perfect thing that makes me wish the rest of the show matched this energy.
I mean, it comes close. There's a lot of spectacle in this show, and I don't know. I think the energy stays pretty high consistently. So
I understand that. I get that. This is still probably my favorite song of the show.
I think this is like my third favorite because I think my favorite is the ending. The final number between the two of them, I think, was really, really good.
This is basically a villain song, and you usually love the villain songs.
I think that this song is really good. It's just not my favorite one.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the finale that you really like.
Ce soir c'est le grand bal, mets du phare sur tes idées pâles. On va faire tanguer les étoiles, bien plus haut encore. Ce soir c'est le grand jour, allons voir tomber les tambours, la fanfare des soldats.
It's a duet, the only duet between Mozart and Salieri. They like meet up and make amends almost, and Mozart fucking dies, and it's really good.
It's one of those rare, like, intense duets that doesn't feel, I don't know, it's like, it doesn't feel vitriolic in a weird way.
It's also not necessarily like a love song, even though it sort of kind of is.
I mean, this show in and of itself does lean into, like, the gay reading of Salieri and Mozart for some reason.
I mean, maybe that's you reading it into
I mean, he writes...
motivated reading.
Motherfucker, he sings a song about how horny the Mozart music makes him while a bunch of people fuck behind him. I feel like it's not just me, like, reading subtext here.
Motivated reading, I think. I'm pretty sure you're seeing things that aren't there. There wasn't anybody else on stage with Salieri in that song. You put them there with your mind.
Okay, fuck you.
No, I mean, it definitely
They
has
literally
that
say,
subtext.
we will see each other again, nothing is important, we will know where we came from. If we have to die, better live while we can.
You know what?
In this song, that's your favorite.
It's good. And
It is.
This came out in 2010. They're trying to play to the Tumblr fandoms.
Yeah, Tumblr was big in 2010.
They're trying to play into it. They wanted Mozart and Salieri to be the new Onslers. Like they knew what they were doing.
They wanted them to be Sherlock and John Watson, let's be clear.
Yes.
Or no, Sherlock and Moriarty.
Or Onceler and the Onceler, because they fucked each other, right?
Oncest. Okay. Real fucked up. I don't watch Rick and Morty anymore, but did you see what happened in the most recent episode?
No, I don't watch it anymore, so.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm so happy to hear that. So, like, Sarah Chalk's character, Beth, like, has a clone of herself, and then they just start fucking. And I feel like Dan Harmon has, like, this, like, weird incest fetish that he's just putting into that fucking show at this point. Like, last season, like, the brother and sister made an incest monster that attacked people, and they just called it incest monster. I don't know. I know that 14-year-olds are watching this show, and they're just gonna suddenly think it's okay to fuck their sister. I don't like it.
Well, actually, Jess, your IQ just isn't high enough to understand incest and how great and funny it is.
It's just a joke, guys. I don't really want to fuck my sister. I'm just putting it into this cartoon for children.
It's, Rick and Morty has really gone downhill.
I know this isn't what we're here for, but fuck me, has it gone downhill?
I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I've got like amazing taste or anything, but I feel like Rick and Morty season 3 was like the end, and I haven't been able to watch it since.
I feel like the first episode of season 3 was the end. As soon as we got that fucking Szechuan shot bullshit.
That's literally what I mean. Yeah, like once that happened, it was over. I've been watching Justin Roiland's other show, Solar Opposites, which I think is just what Rick and Morty is, but better.
I saw the first season, and the only thing I liked was like the part where you got the humans in the weird like ant farm.
Watch the next season because you get a lot more of that. They lean in.
Okay, good. I like Community. I liked a lot of Dan Harmon's other work, but I feel like Justin Roiland is kind of Seth MacFarlaning Rick and Morty a bit, where he just shows up, does the voices, and leaves.
Yeah, it feels like he's not involved in the writing or anything anymore, which I know people like to make fun of him, that his like jokes and shit are all one note, but I feel like his jokes were the better part of the show early on, but I don't know.
Well, it was the thing that made the show different.
Yeah.
And Dan Harmon, while I think Dan Harmon's like a brilliant structure writer, like even in Community, and a joke that we bring up a lot in our podcast is that there's a man that knows how to marry his cousin. There's incest bullshit in all of his TV shows, and it makes me uncomfortable because I don't like, it's a damn Dan Schneider thing where someone's putting their weird fetish into their TV and in their work, and that just feels weird and iffy to me.
The only person who's allowed to do that is Tarantino.
I don't even like it when he does it.
I like it when he shows off dirty feet on car windshield.
Margaret Qualley feet, Margot Robbie feet, Uma Thurman feet.
Yeah, or when he just has a foot in his mouth, like he is the character and he has.
He didn't even direct that movie. That was Robert Rodriguez.
He just convinced them to let him do that, huh?
He wrote the script. In all fairness,
he wrote the script.
Didn't direct it.
This character is gonna be me, and this scene is she puts her foot in my mouth,
and it's Selma Hayek. It has to be Selma Hayek.
And then she pours wine down it, and I drink the wine off of her foot.
And then I jerk off.
They cut that part, but it's in the director's cut.
I did it. I did it on the set. Brie, are you having a good time?
I
We didn't
am.
even
and
say
to-
what movie. People probably don't even know what movie we're talking about.
What was that, Brie?
I don't even really remember how we got here. It's a
It
roller
felt so
coaster.
natural.
It was just a roller
What
coaster.
movie
for me.
is that? That's
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till-
I think that movie's actually incredible. I just hate that scene.
no, it's actually a super crazy movie because the entire first half is like this incredibly tense drama, and then it gets to
Yes.
this, and then the second half of the movie starts, and it's just the campiest, like pulpiest fucking shit you've ever seen in
It's
your
a
life.
vampire movie, and it's set up as a twist. It's brilliant. I fucking love that movie.
It's so good.
George Clooney, Michael Parks, the entire cast is
And
incredible.
Quentin Tarantino plays himself in the movie, and he's like the creepiest character you've ever seen.
Yeah, he like rapes and murders a girl in the first like 15 minutes. It's gross.
It's really gross. His character is fucking disgusting.
But he gets murdered so horribly later. So it's almost worth it.
It is almost worth it, yeah.
So that was our review of From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk
Andrew,
Till
what is-
Dawn, great fucking movie.
Great movie. When we start a new podcast called Everything with Cheese, where we just talk about whatever the fuck we want, we'll talk about that one.
I feel like we already do that, so.
On that
right.
note, Andrew, what is your overall
Mozart.
thoughts on Mozart La Rock Opera? La Opera Rock.
I think that this is a really fucking good show. Like straight up, I was having a great time all the way through. So check it out. I mean, I don't want to encourage anything, but like it's on YouTube.
What the fuck?
And by don't want to encourage anything, I mean just post the link to it in this episode description.
I mean, if you just type in the name into YouTube, you'll find it. It's the first choice.
It's the first choice. They don't
Pretty
copyright
easy.
French stuff, so it's like nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, copyright works different in Europe.
Yeah, so like, you know, check it out. It's fucking good. As far as the cheese rating goes, I'm super fucking lazy on this one, and I liked it a lot. So I'm just gonna give it a Mozart cheese, which is just a cheese that has been registered in Brooklyn. So I guess that is a type of cheese now. Congratulations.
Fair enough. All right. Brie, what'd you think
I thought
of
you.
our discussion?
Oh yeah, I thought your discussion was very fun and lively, and I liked it a lot. I think I can only give this a Mexican style 4-blend cheese because of all those mixed reviews.
That's actually a really good answer, and I like it.
Thank you.
I like this show a lot, sincerely. The first act is rough though. First act feels like you just cut it out. Start at act 2 and have a good old time. But I agree with Andrew. The visuals and stuff that are brought into it are good enough that makes you enjoy it beginning to end. Thank you, Angela, for requesting this episode, and I hope we did it justice. I hope it was everything that you wanted when you put the request in, and thank you for supporting us on Patreon. The only cheese I can give this is Amadeus cheese, which is a semi-soft cheese that improves at room temperature. A buttery flavor evolves that pairs well with white wines such as Chardonnay. Excellent appetizer cheese.
Okay.
Honestly, I was surprised that existed. I was very happy to see it.
Mozart has all sorts of cheeses.
Yeah, he is Austrian, and they are known for those cheeses.
All right. We did it.
You know who else is known for their cheeses, Andrew?
Probably the patrons of Musicals with Cheese.
You are correct, sir. Thank you guys for supporting us over at Patreon. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher at Musicals with Cheese. We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals. We're on Patreon Musicals with Cheese, Instagram Musicals with Cheese. We have a YouTube page called Musicals with Cheese. We have a Patreon-only podcast called Patreon with Cheese. Me and Andrew do a lot of fun shit over there. Email us at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. Bree, tell how much you love Juliet.
I love Juliet so much.
Hell yeah! And speaking of people I love so much, this show is produced by the incredible, the wonderful, one of my best friends in the world, Brianna Jones. I love you so much, Bree. I'm glad you're here still. Our theme songs were created by Robin Nash of IOU Music UK. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform and for not kicking us off for talking about sucking on Salma Hayek's sweet, sweet toes. Is there anything else we have to say before I wrap this on up?
Dead silence. There's nothing to say.
There are many things.
I want to hear Jess
Well-
try to sing a song in French.
Well, nothing that's not been said by you. I do not know where to go, nor did I. I want to make things that count, things that will be new. I did not know what to do. What am I to do? You set me up, Andrew. All right, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese.
Da 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 da.
That's very good, but I was going to do something different.
Okay, go ahead. What do you got?
D-A-C Ray. D-A-C Ray. Who got That's how it sounds. Am I wrong? That just sounds like a random pop song that plays on the radio.
That's because I can't sing any of the words.
All right, we'll see you next time, kids.
Goodbye.
Guess this is goodbye, old pal. You've been a perfect friend.